Hi, folks. Andrew here. Popcorn and whiskey Saturday night. Hold on a second here. You think I'd get this done by now? Popcorn and whiskey Saturday night. My name is Andrew. I am the face who runs the place. That's right. Popcorn and whiskey, where we talk about anything I want to talk about. And tonight is going to be a hodgepodge. First of all, salute. Here we go. A little bit of oaky taste to it. This one is strong. This one's a little strong. This is 100 proof. But Andrew, why are you drinking 100 proof? Because that's what I had. Simple as that. Now, when you are a connoisseur of stuff, now, I don't want people to get the wrong impression. I am not a connoisseur of different whiskeys. I am a connoisseur of whiskeys that are produced locally by somebody I know very well. And when this person decides to try different flavors, different proofs, different what have you, I will be the first in line to try it. And I enjoy it. So some will call it whiskey, some will call it brandy, some will call it paint thinner, some will call it rock gut stuff. It's all in the eye of the beholder, so to speak, or eye of the drinker. Okay, it's just that simple. Now, is everybody going to like everything? No. There are some people out there who like Jack Daniels. Some people out there who like Jim Beam better. Some people like Southern Comfort. I like the sweeter stuff. Some people like a Wild Turkey. Some people like, and I'm one of these, Kessler's Coke with a lime. That's right, Kessler's and Coke, baby. Absolutely. Used to drink that one with a good friend of mine long time ago. And last time I spoke with him about it, him and his wife still drink Kessler's and Coke. So there you go. Kessler's. Yes. Oh, by the way, I'm eating popcorn. Why? Because popcorn and whiskey, and I haven't had popcorn in here for a long time. So I'm doing it. Uh-oh. You know what? I just thought of something. I wonder if my audio is going. Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess I should check the audio first to see if it's still going. And let me come on here and look. Yes. Okay. So I do have my audio working. In the past, I have come on here and chit-chatted for a good 5 minutes without my microphone working. And it's my fault because of the settings. I think I have it now where it's defaulted to this microphone. Oh, by the way, for those who are playing at home, playing the at-home version, the microphone this evening is I went back to the F-Deuce SL40. Okay. In the past, as you know, I've used this microphone, especially when I do my other podcast, I do this microphone. So a little bit different sound. I don't know if it's better or worse. I guess once again, it's in whoever listens to it the most when they do it that way. Okay. So also I have the headphones on today. And here's what's going on. As you see, I have the 10-minute call line where you can call in and talk with me. 765-505-7348. 7FIT, F-I-T at the end. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? So what happens is you call in, and if I have this set up right, at least I hope I have this set up right, you call in. Matter of fact, I should change that right now and make sure I got that all set up. You call in, and guess what? Oh, wait, why is that not coming here? Uh-oh. Oh, that's why I got the everything got changed on me here. Share screen. Okay, hold on a second here, folks. Okay, I do that like that. It's on that one. It's on this one. Wait a second. There. Okay. So in theory, if you call that line, the 10-minute line, 765-505-7348, you will have 10 minutes to tell me what's on your mind. If you want to praise me, great. If you want to debate me, great. If you want to tell me I'm a POS, great. Whatever it is, but I will be asking you questions as well. Keep that in mind. Hey, JD, my buddy, JD. Hey, I'm doing this solo tonight, JD. I know you understand. I want to do this solo sometimes because I don't know how long I'm going to be on, honestly, JD. And I'll tell you about my day in just a second. But he's going to give me some shares. Appreciate that. And if I'm on later, absolutely, you can. But as of right now, I'm planning on doing this solo online here. And if somebody calls in, different story. Okay, and there you go. JD's my buddy. I tell you what, he's a go-getter. JD, go listen to the Boiling Point podcast or Mayhem Media. Look them up if you need to find them. Just like it says, Mayhem Medium or the Boiling Point podcast. JD is a great guy, and make sure you mention my name. Tell him I just sent you over there, and he will treat you the right way. He has great stuff going on, local podcasts, as well as national and global podcast he has, and entertainment, professional wrestling, which I was blessed to be part of a few weeks ago. We had a great time with it. And different, and he has a movie podcast. As I call it a movie podcast. It's all forms of entertainment, but they're focusing on different movies. It's going to be great. So go check him out, the Boiling Point podcast and Mayhem Media. Okay, there you go. Okay, so tonight, sorry about that. It's my show, so guess what? I'm going to drink. I've had interesting day. I got to cook for a friend of mine's wedding. And when I say cook, I'm part of the local Lions Club. And we don't do professional catering at all, but we are known for our pasta sauce, our pasta. And we do several different venues, if you will. Some people hire us to do different things. Some people hire us to do different catering activities for them. And this particular person, who's also part of the Lions Club, I'm not going to mention any names. I did not get permission to mention names, and plus it's irrelevant. He got married tonight at a local establishment, and the Lions Club, and actually only three of us who was actually there, dished out all the pasta, the meatballs, the sauce. And if you don't know what bagna calda is, or bagna cauda, as it's actually called, we had some of that, and I must say it came out very well. Everyone really enjoyed it, and we have a great time doing it. I come from a small town, less than 5,000 people, so basically everybody knows everybody. And when you do good stuff, you get asked to do it more and more and more. And I said this before, I will say it again. I will match our stuff, our being the Lions Club, our pasta sauce, our bagna, with anybody in the country. I will match it against anybody in the country, and I will promise you, if we don't tie with somebody, we'll actually beat them. Yes, I have that much confidence in what we do and how we do it. And it's not a bragging thing, it's a perfection thing. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, so John, JD loves my shirt. Hey, here you go. Let me put the microphone away a little bit. Check it out. Look at that. Yeah. Huh? Wait, so you can see it even better. Let me do this real quick here. Check this out. Huh? Look at that. And who is that? Okay. That, my friends, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, that is Oscar. Oscar the Grouch. That's right. Who is, by the way, and trivia question for later on, Oscar is my favorite Muppet of all times. I love Oscar. And somebody saw this shirt and knew I work out. Me and Oscar, baby. Absolutely. Oscar the Grouch is the best. And I'll admit, I haven't seen an episode of Sesame Street in 25 years, if not longer. So I don't even know if he's still around there. Because last I heard, the Cookie Monster was no longer the Cookie Monster. He was the Veggie Monster. And there's all kinds of woke shit going on with the Sesame Street gang. So there you go. And just so you all know, yes, I do have popcorn right there. And watch this for those new watching. Watch this. Oh my God, you're gonna say, Andrew, how do you do that? Because I'm just that damn good. Watch this. Watch this. Oh, wrong one. That's my side camera. That's that camera over there. But I have something else to show you here. See if I got this set up or not. Yeah, here we go. Huh? It's a camera behind me back there. You see? Hello. It's the camera behind me. Not the best camera in the world, but there's my popcorn right there. So I have a setup, and as you can see, I got dual monitors going on here. I got all kinds of fancy dancy stuff happening here. But of course, for live stream purposes, you're going to get the front-facing camera. There we go, right there. And I only have one light going on. I have this light going on. I usually have dual lights going on so I can have more of a brightness happening to me, but not tonight. I decided, you know what? I'm going to change it up just a hair. Why? Because actually I am, okay, wait a second here. I am a little, Jonathan, JD, I'm going to have another one for you to look at soon. Thank you, JD. My setup. He says, setup is great. He's going to have a new logo for me. JD is also good at making logos. So up until now, he's made some fantastic logos for me, for my show, but it just hasn't hit the mark that I personally want. And he's doing this all off the cuff. I have not given him any directions. And the logos he is producing are top notch. Any other show would be happy to have it. On the other hand, I am extremely picky, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with the logos whatsoever. They're, like I said, top notch and worth a gazillion dollars. But and I don't know what I'm wanting for a logo yet. It's all hit and miss. I've had what's it called, Grok, and AI and Chat GPG, whatever it's called, do a couple of logos for me, and they just haven't hit the mark yet either. And if I knew exactly what I wanted, I would say so. And I'm sure JD could do it for me, but I don't. So, but it's there. Yeah. Oscar the Grouch, badass shirt. Absolutely. Oscar's the best. JD. Great. Okay. So have the earphones on. Doing all kinds of stuff today. Yes. For those who are new, I eat and I drink on my podcast. How do I want to phrase this? I don't follow the rules of broadcasting or live streaming or podcasting. I don't follow those rules. A lot of people will say, well, I don't follow those rules either. Okay, great. Do you eat? Do you drink on your podcast? Most people will tell you no. There is one particular person that I know. Well, I don't know him personally, but I watched him. One of the late night guys on TV who sits down. Can't think of what his name, but he drinks on a set. He drinks, he smokes weed even. And I do believe Rogan does that. And me and Rogan, baby, we're like this. Absolutely. The only difference between me and Rogan is he has a gazillion followers and I have almost a gazillion followers. A gazillion minus he has like a gazillion 4 followers and I have a gazillion 4 minus a gazillion followers. Okay. So, but me and Rogan, we can hang, I think. I think we would have a good time. I have watched several different podcasts, several different live streams, and I'm trying to take the best of what I see in them and implement it on my show. And no, I'm not trying to copy anybody. I'm Mr. Originality. As you can see, not a whole lot of stuff that I do is the same as most people. But I will tell you this much. And yes, this will be a bragging thing because trial and error, because me doing this so much, because me doing interviews so much, and in my other profession, my other podcast, the health and fitness podcast, I have interviewed at this point well over 200 folks from all walks of health and fitness profession all over the globe. When I say all over the globe, I mean all over the globe. Europe, Asia, Australia, South America, Canada. I've all over the globe. I've interviewed them. And from all that, I understand how this works. I understand what needs to be done to not so much give a professional product, but one to give a quality product in terms of sound and appearance. Okay. And by appearance, I'm not saying the background, everything else. I'm saying a lot of people, when they do this, they look at the screen like I'm doing right now. They look at the screen because that's where they see each other. It is a different kind of talent to look at your camera when you're talking to it. You're talking to nobody. You don't see your screen, which is down here. My screen is. Now, some people have their, and I'm going to move my eyes here so you know what I'm talking about. But some people will look at their camera, which is right there, which is just slightly above their screen. I don't like that look. I like it when somebody does not look at their screen and pretend to be looking at the camera. I like it when the camera is away from them and you can tell they're looking at the camera instead of the screen. I know it's maybe not, I'm not explaining that correctly. I also like the look, which I do not have with this camera, but I have it with this camera. Huh. And I don't know why I'm getting into this. Again, I'm all over the place. I like the look with this camera if it were closer and lower. I like the side look when I'm looking at the screen. And if this camera were lower, which I don't know if I can get it any lower without moving anything else, just because of the way my setup is. But I like the side angle look coming at somebody. Okay. But we're not going to keep that one because as of right now, that is not how I want to present the show. Okay. So all that being said, look at the hotline right here, 765-505-7348. Give me a call if you want to. Come on for 10 minutes. We can chit chat about anything. I will ask you a couple of hard-pressed questions. Who knows what direction I'm going to go with the questions. Obviously, and yes, I will say this, obviously it depends if you're male or female, which direction I'm going to go with the questions, of course. And yeah, call me sexist, whatever you want to call it, fine, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not being discriminatory, if that's the right word. I'm not being anything that out of line. Now, to some people out there, it might be out of line, but you know what? My show. You don't like it, don't call in. It's just that simple. So, and I'm trying something different tonight. Okay. There's a bit of popcorn going on there. So, this is a weird time of the year for me doing this show, and here's why. I love watching college football. I don't have a particular team I follow, even though I do like Notre Dame more than anybody else at this point. I like the Oregon Ducks, and I have no ties to Oregon Ducks whatsoever. I just think they're cool. I also like Boise State. I loved watching Boise State back in the heyday when they had that one quarterback that they had, whatever his name was. I couldn't tell you any stats. I couldn't tell you anything about anybody, but I like watching college football. I think college football has a better product than the NFL, and I'm not a big NFL fan. Around where I live, it's Colts country, Indianapolis Colts country. I live in Indiana. I am not a huge Colts fan, but anywhere you go, it's Colts this, Colts that, Colts this, Colts that. So do I have them on television on Sunday afternoon? If a race is not going on by race, I mean, I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I'll watch a NASCAR race before any college football or pro football. Absolutely. No question about it. But right now it's college football season. On Saturday nights, I usually have the college football game. So I would be watching that. So I have a hard time. Am I going to watch the college football or am I going to come on live? Football, live. If there's a race on, that's even more of a holy moly, especially if it's Bristol, which was a few weeks ago, which was fantastic, by the way. and NASCAR is wrapping up. They have 7 races left, I think, something of that sort. 8 races left. And then I'm sad for 2 months until February again, which 2 things happened in February. Daytona 500, which is 1B, not 1A, but 1B. 1A is my birthday. Yes, my birthday. And I don't know what day of the week my birthday falls on this year, but if I'm available, I will have a birthday celebration for me. That's right. And if you want to find out where my birthday is, you have to do a little bit of research. Kurt Cobain or Kirk Cobain, whatever, Kurt Cobain was born on the same day as me. I wasn't the dummy who took my own life. Yes, I say that. Unfortunately, I'm not a big Nirvana fan. What's the name? Nirvana, whatever his name. His family, him and I share the same birthday, and I am doing something with the birthday, and he is not. I'm not saying that in a disrespect way. I'm saying that in a factual way. Okay, simple as that. Nirvana, that's it. I have never been a Nirvana fan, not because I dislike what everything they stood for. I just don't care for that kind of music. I wasn't into the grunge type of music. To this day, there's people who absolutely still love Nirvana. Great, fantastic. More power to you. Not everybody likes that kind of music. Not everybody likes country music. Not everybody likes hard rock. Not everybody likes a rap or opera or anything. Whatever you like, and be proud of it. That's my whole point here. If that's something you like, be proud of it. Not everybody's going to like it, but so what? All right? It's like ketchup. Do you like ketchup? Yes, great. Use ketchup. If you don't, guess what? Don't. It's just that simple, folks. Not disrespecting anybody whatsoever. If that's what you like, that's what you like. The short time Nirvana was together, I call them Nirvana. I said it right once. The short time they were together, they were powerful. They were huge. They made an impact. They changed music. I will give them that. They absolutely changed music. Again, not my cup of tea. Not what I listen to. Okay? I say the same thing about Pink Floyd. I'm not a huge Pink Floyd fan whatsoever. But Pink Floyd was one of the best bands commercially of all times. I can't say that's one of the best bands in my repertoire because they're not. We'll have an episode one of these days about bands, but I'm not getting off on any subject here. If you like it, great, fantastic, go for it. Not my cup of tea. Just that simple. And I will never, ever, ever put somebody down for the music that they do or the music that they do not like. It's what you like or don't like. It's just that simple. Everyone's that way. I like whiskey. You might not like it. I like popcorn. You may not like it. And I'll talk about professional wrestling here in a second. And because there's something called out there, and kudos to this professional wrestler. And if JD, if you're still watching, you're going to hate this. But for CM Punk, professional wrestler CM Punk, who will go down in anybody's Hall of Fame as well, absolutely. Even yours, JD. Yes, I know you don't like him, but he is a Hall of Famer in anybody's book. He gave, in my opinion, national recognition to something called the Straight Edge Society, SES, Straight Edge Society. He's straight edge. What is straight edge? No drugs, no alcohol. I'm assuming there's more to it than that, but those are the two main things. And he is on the straight edge kick straight edge kick. That's the wrong way to say it, but you get my meaning here. He has been a straight edge person for a long time. He even has a tattooed across his on his body somewhere called straight edge. So, hey, Vic, not a Pink Floyd fan either. Hi, Vic. How you doing, buddy? Not a Pink Floyd fan either. But no, being straight edge is great. You don't do any alcohol. You don't do any recreational drugs. You don't put any foreign substance in your body. Now, some people will take that to extremes and say sugar is a foreign substance. Anything that is not naturally grown is a foreign substance. Some people will say, excuse me, that raw food is the only food which is not a natural substance in your body. Now, through my dealings with all the health and fitness professionals, man, this is going all over the place tonight. There's one particular guy. Yes, I will mention his name. His name is Dan McDonald. Go look him up. Great guy. I interviewed him before. Fantastic guy. He is a raw food, what I call expert. He will tell you he's not the expert, but when it comes to raw food, and that does not mean you go eat grass all day long. There's certain aspects to raw food. He's also into cleansing, fasting, juicing, anything of that sort. He does not. It is beyond vegetarian, being a vegetarian, beyond being a vegan. There's more to it than that. More of a spiritual thing for him. And great to watch, great to listen to, great to talk to. I've had an interview with him, and where we actually sold the interview. This is, gosh darn, this was 15 years ago we did the interview, and to this day, it still holds true. It's phenomenal. I've also interviewed some people who are on a total opposite end of the nutrition spectrum than Dan. They do not eat any kind of vegetation whatsoever. Fruits, vegetables, grain, anything of that sort, no way. 1,000% carnivore. If it's not meat, they will not eat it. Period. End of story. Meat or butter or eggs. So I put that way. Meat, butter, and eggs. If it's not meat, butter, eggs, they will not eat it. And people say, well, that's not good for you. Really? Okay. Why do you say that? Because all your life we've been told to have a balanced meal, blah, blah, blah. Okay. If that's the case, well, 5 minutes ago we were talking about music. Now we're talking about health and fitness. Go figure. That's the way my show goes. If that's the case, if eating the food pyramid, so to speak, is the case, and wow, this is something I just thought of. This is an enlightening thing. If the food pyramid were so special and so important to everybody, why are there so many fat little kids? Yes, I said the F word, fat. All right, get over it. Deal with it. There are way too many fat little kids running around. Way too many in this country. By this country, if you didn't know, I mean the United States of America. I'm going to also include Canada in this one for all my Canadian friends out there. There you go. I'll include my Canadian friends out there. There are way too many fat little kids running around. Middle school, grade school, high school. Why is that? If the food pyramid is so important, and I'm not knocking anything, I'm just saying, think about the reality of things. If there's a lot of people out there who are on the raw food program, so to speak, and they are at the top of the top of the line, top of the field, or top of the stats, if you will, in their health journey. They get their blood work done. They get everything. They're at the top of their field. Same thing with carnivore. They get all their blood work down. They're at the top of their field. But the person who you see, excuse my language there, the person who you see who eats the 3 meals a day food pyramid thing, they may not be. Why is that? And when somebody does all raw food or somebody does all carnivore, yes, I'm going extremes in this situation. Keep that in mind. I'm going extremes. If those people are so healthy and so fit and so in line with where their body should be, all right, this is where they're totally in line where their body should be, why do people give them a hard time for doing that? But the people who were eating popcorn, whiskey and popcorn, chips, soda pop, blah, 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 no one says anything to them. Think about that for a little bit. Why is one looked at in a negative light and the other is, that's part of the day? How many people do you see going to the convenience store in the morning to get a 32 or 64 ounce soda every morning? But Andrew, it's diet soda. Really? Really? Any soda is bad for you. This is coming from a Mountain Dew-aholic. Sorry, I'm a Mountain Dew-aholic. Yes. Any soda is bad for you. If you feel you're drinking diet soda because it's better than regular soda, you're fooling yourself. It is not. Yes, I am preaching about health as I'm eating popcorn and drinking whiskey. Get over it. Okay? It's just that simple. I have a philosophy. We as adults, and I'm talking to over 50 crowd, over 40 crowd even, 30, maybe not so much, but definitely over 40. We as adults, we know, instinctively, we know what is bad for us, nutrition-wise, what we consume. Okay? Maybe we don't know so much what the best meals are for us, but we definitely know what is bad for us. Now, I used to say that differently, then somebody changed my mind. I wish I remember who changed my mind with that, so I can give him credit, but I don't remember who did it. It was one of my interviews. Because I used to say, we as adults, we know what we should eat. And they said, no, we shouldn't. We don't, maybe we don't know what we know should eat. And I started thinking about that. So I changed my way of saying that. Is it the same thing? No, it's not the same thing, but it's close. We as adults know what we should not consume. Two things are popcorn and whiskey. Maybe the popcorn. Okay. Now, I can debate the whiskey thing with you. And here's why I can debate that with you. Some people will absolutely say this is wrong. Okay, great. What I have here in my hand, I know exactly what is in this from every step of the process making it. I know exactly what is in this. No artificial flavors, no extra this, extra that. I know exactly what is in this. So, if that's the case, and I know exactly what ingredients or what the makeup is of that product, and nothing and outside, okay, yes, does it have sugar? I can debate whether it does or not, and here's why. No, I'm not going to get into it because it'll take way too much conversation, and that's something I'm not willing to get into right now. But I will debate to you that it does not have sugar in it, unless you put sugar in it. And this one does not have sugar in it. I can promise you that. At least not from me, and not from the person who produced it. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, so I won't. I don't know why I got into the health clip. We were talking about music a second ago. No. Anyway, speaking of music, I talked to a buddy of mine last week. This was fascinating to me. I had my college homecoming a few weeks ago. St. Joe's, by the way, St. Joe's Pumas, right there. I'm a proud Puma, always will be, always have been. I'm not going to get into any negative negative stuff about the Pumas, but I'm a proud St. Joseph's College Puma. I wear it with pride. I will not, and I say this forcefully, I will not put another college logo on my body. I just will not. Not that I dislike other colleges. I told you before, I like Boise State, like watching Boise State, like watching Oregon. I will not put another college logo on my body. That's just a personal thing. High school, different story. I went to one particular high school. I have worked at long term at a different high school. Actually, four different high schools. I've worked at. So I will use those logos. When I was working for those high schools, I did put those logos on my body. But as far as college goes, you will not see another college logo on my body outside of St. Joseph's College. Go Pumas. Yeah. But anyway, so a buddy of mine called me. I went to the homecoming a few weeks ago. A buddy who was supposed to be there was not there. He came after I left. Long story. I'm not going to get into it why we missed each other. But he called me out of the blue last week, and we must have talked for 3 hours. And I said he needs to come on my show. Wait a second here. All right, somebody's spamming me here. Hamid Shoko. Shoko. Hamid Shoko. Hey, Hamid. Yeah, go ahead. Follow me. That's fine. Absolutely. Love it. He called me out of the blue the other night. Now, he is a connoisseur of music. And him and I we worked together at the college radio station. I was a DJ in college. That's where I got my radio and TV degree from. At that time, radio was completely different than it is now. I'm talking a completely different setup. Everything about radio was completely different. There was no such thing as podcasting. There was no such thing as at home doing what I'm doing here. No such thing. Not even in the works. No one even thought about doing something like this. The closest we came was several years after I graduated. Remember the show Wayne's World, where they had the access to public television in their basement? That was probably the closest we're coming to this. And at that time I was in college, no one even thought about something like that. If they did, I didn't know about it. There was a show called, I did not listen to this personally. I've heard a couple of times, but it wasn't something I sought out. The Dr. Demento Show. As far as I know, Dr. Demento, who, and I could be totally wrong with this, but this is my perception of Dr. Demento, put together or showcased off the wall music, off the wall lyrics, off the wall, everything in the music industry. Okay. Now, as far as I know, he did not work in a professional studio. Right. He was able to broadcast from his particular place. Could be totally wrong with that one. Another one that I loved to listen to back in the day, Art Bell. My word, am I going all over the place with this talking thing tonight? Art Bell. If you don't know who Art Bell is, he has a program, or he used to have. Excuse me. Yeah, because now it's George Norrie, I do believe. Art Bell passed away. It was what was his show called? But anyway, you don't only hear it in the evenings. Usually like 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. plus, 11 p.m. plus until like 2 or 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And he talked to people about the supernatural, about unexplained phenomenon you see, Bigfoot, aliens, ghosts, conspiracy stuff. You'd hear about that. And to me, it was fascinating to listen to. This was before podcasting. This was like talk show stuff. And I was always fascinated with that. After college, I got into music quite a bit because I was also in the dance world, another story. But then I slowly started progressing to the talk show things. And I think I was more of a talk show guy in college as well. I just didn't realize it, but that's a whole different ballgame. We won't get into it. I like hearing people's perspective on different things. I like listening to talk shows if they're done in an entertaining way. And that's subjective. What's entertaining to me may not be entertaining to you. the George Norrie program, the Art Bell programs, the Coast to Coast. I was at Coast to Coast AM. Absolutely love those programs. I love that. I was a talk show guy, more so than a music guy. I love listening to different talk shows. Lex and Terry. I'm a huge Lex and Terry fan. Another trivia question coming up in the future. If you didn't know, I'm a Lex and Terry fan. If you don't know who Lex and Terry are, they're a morning radio program. Been around for 30 plus years. I started listening to them in the late 2000s. And I'm a huge fan of Lex and Terry. Been a faithful listener for at least 15 years now. And so I love the format of their show. I love everything going on with it. I used to listen to Howard Stern. Howard Stern's fine. Around my area, Bob and Tom radio is huge. Not so much a Bob and Tom fan. Used to be until I got away from this area and I heard different shows. There's a show called and I don't know how I got into this one. I wish I had somebody else on here to talk about this. The Don and Mike show. I love listening to Don and Mike. And then when I lived in Indianapolis, then they went away. Howard Stern came on for a little bit. Stern couldn't make a dent in Indianapolis. Bob and Tom had a strong hold on it, and they still do. If you like Bob and Tom, I'm not putting them down whatsoever. I just found something which I felt was better than Bob and Tom, which is Lex and Terry. I have yet to find something that is better than Lex and Terry for me. Keep that in mind, for me. You might hate Lex and Terry. You might hate Bob and Tom. You might hate Howard Stern. Don and Mike are no longer around. There's Bubba the Love Sponge. He's I don't know if he's on radio anymore, but he's definitely on doing live stream stuff. I know that for a fact because I watch him every so often. And little by little, I'm watching more live stream than radio. I like to, yes, I lean toward the political podcasts quite a bit. That's just what I do. Throughout the day, the health and fitness stuff, to an extent. I haven't found anybody who I like as a whole that keeps my attention in the health and fitness world. That's something to think about. I haven't found anybody to do that as much. They don't entertain me as much. I want to be entertained. I want to be in a position where not so much educated, but entertained. There's a light bulb moment for me. Holy moly. You can write that down. Let's see here. Where are we at? 44 minutes. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I want to be more entertained than educated. That's just me. Okay? All right. My word. I can talk about this. Getting into off the subjects here. But let's review what we've talked about tonight. We talked about college football. We talked a little bit about microphones. We talked about my college. We talked about music. We talked about entertainment. We talked about friends of mine. We talked about what I did today. We talked about other stuff. One thing I did not get into tonight is politics. We'll worry about that for another time. All right. If you didn't know where I stand, now you do. All right. Too bad. If you don't like it, hey, we can talk about it. Absolutely, we'll talk about it. But here's the deal, folks. Oh, by the way, Debbie, if you're still listening, call me. We talked about it this morning. Call me. Yeah, absolutely. Debbie's a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention her last name. She could be a slew of people out there. She says she listens to me once she lays in bed. I said, "Oh, so you go to bed with me?" No. She says, "I was at a restaurant this morning. And I saw her. We were chit-chatting. She goes, "Why don't you say it louder so everybody can hear it?" I'm like, "Good, I will. Absolutely." It was funny. So Debbie, if you're watching right now, listening later on, yeah, absolutely. Oh, the trouble I can get into on this microphone. But there's also an art form to this, folks. I'm not saying that I have perfected this at all, but I know it exists. There is an art form to doing this, and it's not so much just talking. There is more to it than that. There is how do I want to phrase this? There is a way to talk to the microphone, talk to the camera, that is not just talking at it, it's talking to it, it's talking with it. I hope, and I can't be the judge of this. I hope that what I do, I talk with the microphone, with the camera. I don't want to be talking at either one of them. And maybe because I'm in the industry or I studied the industry back in college, again, it's not a bragging thing, it's just part of it. Maybe because I understand that concept from way back when, it just makes sense to me. And maybe I'm not making sense to you, the listener or the watcher of this at this point. So you be the judge of that. If you are watching and or hearing this right now, if you're still with me at this point, let me know. Do you think or do you feel I'm talking at you or talking with you? Or if you don't know one way or the other, that's fine. You don't have to comment. I'm not asking you to say something that you're not comfortable with saying or don't understand what it is. There are a lot of folks out there who talk at the microphone, at the camera, and it does not make you feel like you're there. And I know I'm saying that wrong, and maybe I'll figure out a way to describe that later on or at a future show. But that's what it is at this point. Okay. Okay. So here it is. I've been going on for about 15 minutes or so. 50, not 15, 50, 50. And unfortunately, didn't get a call in tonight. So you know what I'm going to do? Just because I can. Whoops. Hold on. Because I can. Bye-bye. All right. I'm done. I'm going to call it a day. It's been a long day. I've been on my feet for most of the day. And I'm going to stop it here. So appreciate you guys being here. Vic, thank you. Hamid Shoko, thank you for commenting. JD, of course, as always, you're my buddy. Next time you'll be coming on. I promise you that. And we'll do this again. But I wanted to go solo tonight. And you and I talked about this, so you get it. And I will stop it here. But everyone, thank you for being here. I know I had people coming in and out throughout the show. Appreciate it. And I'll stop it here. So my name is Andrew. Popcorn and whiskey. Oh, let me end this the right way. Salute there. Here we go. You shouldn't chomp your ice on air, by the way. Breaking all the rules of live streaming. That's me. There we go. Okay. I would love to be a guest on your show if you have one. Want me to come on sometime? We can chit chat about basically anything you want. We can get it done. And hopefully I will be happy on a positive side of helping your show progress. Okay. So until next time, this is me. My name is Andrew. I am the face who runs the place. Okay. So until next time.